Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, the Irma aftermath of power problems across the Suncoast. We're live with the efforts Florida Power and Light is making to get power working again after one of the most massive outages in history.
Plus, gas concerns from evacuees wanting to return home to the trip across town. We'll tell you what extraordinary steps are being taken to get gas back in the pumps.
And the Myakka River is rising. Find out when it will crest and what people in the area need to do before it happens. Your Suncoast News starts right now.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, everyone. Glad to have you with us on this Tuesday. I'm Jacqueline Matter.
I'm Ray Collins. September the 12th, and trying to get back to normalcy. Not easy when we're without power in our respective homes.
Very true. I almost forgot what day of the week it was. That's why it took me a second there for a second.
Sadly, we kind of skipped past the moment yesterday was September 11th,
Yes.
9/11, and locally many efforts were toward Irma, obviously, and we didn't really talk much about that. So. Having said that, it's 5:01 right now. Let's switch to the hardest working man in show business. Good morning, John Scalzi.
Oh, I think we all put in our time. We're looking at some much improved weather today, which will be nice. Sunny skies, you know, we'll be looking at a nice, gentle breeze. The only thing is, the only caveat to today's forecast would be that we have this onshore wind flow that leads to a rip current advisory on area waters. So I'm sure there might be some folks who are going to be out in the waters today, and I'm just warning you, the rip current issue is a big one today. So be careful with that. Otherwise, few scattered showers around, mostly sunny conditions. Going to be beautiful out there. Got a few rivers that are running high. Some of them about to crest. Some of them haven't quite crested. But I think for the most part, we're looking pretty good in that regard. We have across the region a daytime high today that tops out warmer. And we do have a slight chance at a shower. But all in all, it's going to be a beautiful day compared to the last couple. Back to you guys.
All right, John, talk to you again soon. Look at this traffic map, completely issue-free right now.
I don't see that a lot.
No, very rare. That's Manatee County. Let's check farther south and see if there's a blip. Well, there you go. The southbound lane, rather, of 41 as it passes by Orange and Osprey and heads towards the 301 Apex. A little congestion there. Also, we see a little icon there on the interstate, a southbound accident at River Road down there in South Venice, so be aware of that issue. We'll track that throughout the morning. That's it right now at 5:02, and our big story, of course, is the number of power outages right now across the area.
That's right. Our Jess Dowdrick joins us live from Robarts Arena with more on what crews are doing to get power back to our area. Good morning, Jess.
Good morning, Jacqueline and Ray. This is where nearly 300 crews from across the country are staged. They say that they've been out all night trying to restore power to the area. However, there are still more than 3 million Floridians without power today, and they say they expect to be here for another 3 to 4 weeks trying to get power back for everyone. In Manatee County, there are still 82,850 outages. That's 45% of the county still without power this morning. In Sarasota County, there are 130,500 people. That's 50% of the county. So a large number of people still without electric this morning. Charlotte County is seeing 49,000 power outages, and in DeSoto County, 9,000 power outages. Now, something to keep in mind today as you may be heading back to work is a lot of the traffic lights are still without power today. So when you're driving Route 41, Route 301, University Parkway, Lockwood Ridge and 17th, a lot of major intersections, these traffic lights still are not working. So you're being asked that when you approach a traffic light that does not have any power, that you act as if it's a four-way stop for safety concerns. So this morning when you're heading to work, obviously schools are still closed this morning, or maybe you're heading back to the area after evacuating. Just be very careful as a lot of power still not on, but of course crews working very hard to try to restore it. Jacqueline and Ray.
All right, thank you so much, Jess. Now, I did hear that crews from Charlotte, North Carolina, Dayton, Ohio, even as far as California are coming to Florida to help us get our power on. I think over 3 million people at this point this morning still without power. So if you do see a random crew that's not your typical Florida Power and Light truck coming through your neighborhood, don't be alarmed. It's just probably someone here to help get our power back on.
I'd be happy to see a crew from Alaska. I don't care. Just let's get them here and get this region plugged back in.
Certainly. Well, without a doubt, Hurricane Irma has left her mark on the Suncoast. We all know that.
Oh yeah, strong winds from the powerful storm caused a lot of damage in a lot of neighborhoods, especially fallen trees. ABC's Rick Adams has details.
It was a big boom, and then electricity went off.
What James Oates is describing is a massive tree that fell on top of his neighbor's home in the Gillespie Park section of Sarasota. Hurricane Irma's fury toppled a lot of trees, like this one that is now blocking Hoxie Lane, or this one that frightened Eric Guevara and his family near downtown Sarasota.
We started hearing the real serious cracks and crackles, and which everybody in the house was just cringing and looking at each other, waiting for it to stop, but it just kept going and going and going.
Some mobile home communities around the Suncoast took a tremendous beating from Irma.
We got lucky. It's like spotty. It's like out of nowhere. It looks like a bomb hit some of these places.
I've lived here 48 years, and I was here when Hurricane Andrew was really bad and hit Homestead. But I have never seen stuff like this.
Many neighbors are counting their blessings, saying that they're just grateful to be alive.
We can rebuild. There's no problem about that. You know, you can put a new roof on a mobile home, you know, or new windows in there. But as long as you have your life, you know, that's all that matters.
Homes weren't the only places that were impacted. Some businesses around the Suncoast had damage, like this tire shop or the 7-Eleven in Bradenton. Another big issue are power outages, which FPL is working on repairing quickly.
It's this whole section through here, everybody's out power.
This is the perfect example of the power of Hurricane Irma. It uprooted this massive tree where the roots are taller than I am. Now the exhausting part is underway. That's cleaning up this big old mess.
It's going to be a little bit time consuming and probably a bit tedious, but worlds better than it could have been. So yeah, I'm glad I'm not repairing my roof right now.
In Sarasota, I'm Rick Adams, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Sarasota County's recovery team has started assessing damage to Suncoast homes. The group identifies neighborhoods believed to be the most damaged. They assess each home and the condition. They send the information to FEMA as well as the county appraiser. They expect it'll be several days to assess all the properties. To report any damage to your home or property, call 800-621-FEMA. That's 800-621-3362. Governor Rick Scott has issued an update on the state's efforts to resupply gas stations across the state. Many Floridians are trying to return home after evacuating. Governor Scott is directing the Florida Highway Patrol to escort fuel supply trucks to gas stations.
Also near Siesta Key at the marina, right off of Old Stickney Point Road, part of the boat storage roof collapsed. Inland, there was floodwaters that covered Ocean Drive and near the main beach parking lot as well. Now, a crossing sign was also knocked down by the winds. Also, an entire palm tree. As you can see right there, you can see some of that flooding on Ocean Drive. And here in just 1 second, you'll see that crossing sign that was knocked down as well as that palm tree. Now, one couple coming out to take a look at that damage. They evacuated to Sarasota from Marathon.
It kind of scares me because if it's this bad here, like I know it's way worse down there, but it's pretty not bad here, but there's a lot of trees down, all the lights, like it's definitely the scariest hurricane I've been through, and I've lived in Florida my whole life.
It was pretty scary. My mom was hysteric. She's in New York, so she has no idea what's going on. Honestly, I slept right through it. I was so tired, so stressed out that I honestly just slept right through it.
Well, the Gulf remains calm off of the Key. There were no signs of major flooding into any homes, and roofs and windows also seem to be intact. And an update from Sarasota County Emergency Management about the damage across the county. Chief Ed McCrane says this morning damage assessment teams will continue to identify areas in need of assistance.
People are moving about freely. We just want them to do it safely. By not doing an all clear, we're emphasizing the fact that there are hazards in the community. When that many traffic signals are out, not everybody pays attention. They feel like they have the right of way, they're going to go through that intersection. And if somebody coming the other direction feels the same way, there's going to be a major crash.
Now, if you see any debris from the hurricane remaining throughout Sarasota County, they ask you to report it to the county.
Manatee County schools will remain closed until Monday, September 18th, so schools can be cleaned after housing evacuees. All extracurricular activities also canceled until Monday. 26 schools lost power. Almost all campuses need debris cleaned and damage repaired. 24 schools served as shelters since last Friday to more than 2,500 evacuees and thousands of pets as well. The schools need extensive cleanup and restoration to be ready for students next Monday. Now, Sarasota County says it will announce a reopening date for schools there as soon as possible. Sarasota County Area Transit will resume limited bus service, but they'll operate today on their usual Sunday schedule. They'll resume the regular schedule starting again tomorrow.
Well, there are still massive power outages across the Suncoast. As of 3 a.m. this morning, Florida Power and Light is reporting nearly 130,000 outages in Sarasota County, nearly 84,000 outages now in Manatee County, around 48,000 in Charlotte, and around 9,000 outages in DeSoto. Now, that's 77% of that county, which still has no power. And we also have an important reminder if you are about to hit the road this morning. If you do come across a traffic light that is either flashing or is completely out, you must treat it as a four-way stop. We have been reiterating this throughout the morning. Please be courteous to your fellow drivers as well.
A fire broke out about 7 o'clock last night around the corner from our studios. We're being told there were 3 10 to 20-foot boats on fire. It's now out and the investigation is underway. Now, here is a phone number to keep handy for the next few days. The Florida State Emergency Response Team has a 24-hour information line up and running. That number is on your screen, 800-342-3557. Again, 800-342-3557. And for those near Myakka River, be advised, experts predict the river will crest tomorrow afternoon. It should be cresting at 10 feet. No evacuations have been ordered, but residents had to move cars to drier land already. Moderate flooding is being reported over roadways, but there are no reports of flooding around any homes. There is a lot of information on social media about Hurricane Irma, and FEMA is trying to help separate fact from fiction. In fact, a section of the FEMA website is now dedicated to Hurricane Irma rumor control. Everything from shelter misinformation to fuel demand to contractor repairs are listed on the site. There's a link to the FEMA site and many more valuable right now on our website, mysuncoast.com.
There are also several phone numbers locally and statewide that you can call for information. The Florida Emergency Information Line is 1-800-342-3557. Grab a piece of paper and a pen if you can. The Sarasota County Contact Center is 861-5000. And the Manatee County Citizens Information Center is 749-3547. Be sure to write those numbers down or store them in your phone so you have them handy when you need them. And water is on in Englewood, but some residents may need to be careful if you choose to use it. The Englewood Water District has issued a boil water notice for all customers served by Bocilo Utilities. Water pressure was reduced or lost for most customers there. And in Venice, residents are under a boil water advisory, which was from yesterday for the next 72 hours, so you are about 48 hours now. All water used for drinking or cooking should be boiled. Now, a rolling boil of more than a minute or more is sufficient enough, or you can always use bottled water as an alternative.
So, looking forward now to Tuesday, John. Hopefully a nice day.
It looks pretty good.
Yeah.
It looks pretty good. Might start getting a little bit muggier and a little bit warmer out, you know, but it's pretty good. We always can take a cold shower, right? So that'll cool us off.
There you go.
That's true.
One thing I noticed this morning when I got up is that it's kind of unusual and it's kind of nice if you're looking for like the bright side of the situation. You go outside during the pre-dawn hours and you look up in the sky and what do we have? 70% of our people without power right now. So the light pollution is just way down and the stars just look so bright. The moon's so beautiful out there. If you get a chance, take a look up before the sun comes out because it's a sight that's going to vanish as soon as all the power goes back on. It's kind of nice.
It's a nice way to look at things.
That's the bright side, so to speak. Yeah,
exactly right. Bright side. We have some pleasant weather coming up today. We'll talk about that in a second.
All right, still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, your first alert traffic, and we meet one man who rode out the entire storm at the peak of its strength.
And later in the hour, we get a bigger picture of Irma's impact across the southeast.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less. and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
If you're thinking about replacing your windows, what matters most to you? We found what matters is high performance. Our customers want energy-efficient windows built for Florida weather. Windows that can stand everything from scorching sun to hurricanes. Our customers want windows that reflect their life, their lifestyle. Windows that will last a lifetime. We listen to our customers, and as a result, we're growing. So if you're looking to replace your windows, stop here at New South Window.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts on 4 or more windows.
This is important news for women who were administered chemotherapy intravenously for breast cancer and then suffered permanent hair loss. The chemotherapy drug Taxotere has been linked to permanent alopecia or permanent hair loss. Some women administered the breast cancer chemotherapy drug Taxotere have suffered from permanent hair loss on scalp, eyebrows, and eyelashes. The FDA has urged doctors and the manufacturer to warn women administered Taxotere of the risk of permanent hair loss. If you or a loved one were administered chemotherapy intravenously for breast cancer and suffered permanent hair loss, you may have a right to a cash award and medical expenses. If you suffered permanent hair loss after chemotherapy for breast cancer, call the law offices of Davis & Crump at the number below right now to find out if you are eligible for a cash award and medical expenses. Call the law offices of Davis & Crump right now. Our first consultation is free, and we don't get paid unless you get paid. Call now. Operators are standing by.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
Game on, Suncoast. Get scores and highlights from the area's top high school matchups on Football Friday night, just after the news at 11:15. Sponsored by your local Honda dealers. Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we've got a few fair weather clouds out there, a temperature of 78 degrees and a dew point kind of a little bit lower than it was over the last several days, coming in at 73. West wind blows, still kind of breezy, and with that west wind breezy like it is, we have a rip current advisory, and we have, at least for the first part of the day, a small craft advisory up till dawn breaks anyway. We have a cloud cover out there. We don't have much in the way of rain currently, but there are a few scattered sprinkles and showers around, but nothing serious. 73 degrees, Arcadia, Wauchula, Parrish coming in at 75, Myakka coming in at 75. We have a 78-degree temperature in Sarasota, Bradenton at 77, and Venice coming in at 79, 77 in Northport as well. As I mentioned, the winds were a little bit breezy this morning, but all out of the west. That west wind is what's causing the rip current advisory for our beaches, because it's kind of pushing that water right up on shore, and then as that water is pushed up closer to the shore, it's got nowhere to go but back out, so it finds a little jet, and it kind of just pushes all that water right out through that little jet, that little narrow band, and that's what creates that very fast-moving, outward-bound stream of water back out into Gulf waters. And if you get caught in that, it's hard to get back to shore unless you swim parallel. So just be aware of that. Be careful of that. I'm sure there'll be some people out there who are enjoying some of those stronger winds. Winds die down during the afternoon, and then we are left with kind of shifting weather conditions, or wind conditions, I should say, over the next several days. As I mentioned, there were a few showers around during the overnight, and some of the road surfaces are still a little damp. Watch for that during the morning commute, along with the outages. We also have some showers down to the south around Charlotte Harbor that are ongoing. Those showers kind of along a line that stretches back through Arcadia. Rapidly moving out of the picture, that's the way it's going to be today, kind of hit and miss, off and on, little teeny sprinkles or showers that are going to kind of wind up and end after about 1, 2 o'clock. And then we'll be left with a very pretty afternoon, I think. The heaviest of the rain, of course, still falling around what's left of Irma. The Hurricane Center issued its last advisory on this storm last night. It's now becoming just a blob of moisture, and it's producing a fair amount of rainfall. There's still some flood warnings up for areas in Jacksonville that have seen historic flooding due to the heavy rainfall they had yesterday due to that strong onshore flow. Got some showers right now, most particularly in the Carolinas, particularly around Fayetteville, into Charlotte. We have some Wilmington showers that look pretty heavy as well. Lumberton seeing some. So as you head to the north, be aware that there could certainly be some Charlotte and some Raleigh-Durham airport delays today. Back toward Atlanta, some scattered showers, but the heaviest of the stuff, I think, is lifting north up the mountains, and that could create a problem later today. We have this onshore wind flow, southwest wind, that continues throughout the day today, giving us mostly sunny skies, warmer, humid conditions, and just those isolated showers. Those are your weather highlights. All right, I know it's kind of soon, but let's talk about a lot of people asking that blob of moisture that you see out in the Atlantic is another storm. This one, Hurricane Jose, 75-mile-an-hour winds. You might ask what's happening to it. There's some social media gossip out there that it's heading toward the United States. That is not the case. It is going to do a very strange loop-de-loop out there in the Atlantic before turning tail and heading out into the open waters. As far out as the Hurricane Center forecasts right now, it does look like it's on a track that takes it up toward the east coast of the United States, and of course they'll be watching that carefully. But all of the computer models seem to agree that after this little loop-de-loop in the long term, it goes right back out into open waters of the Atlantic. Moves up toward the Labrador Currents, the colder waters, dies its death up there, and hopefully spares the United States too much, except some high surf along the mid-Atlantic coastline. Southwest wind comes in at about 5 to 10, and the forecast, it's not too bad, actually. Not too bad at all. About a 20 to 30% chance of showers for the next few days. Then as we head into the second half of the work week, into the weekend, we get back to that kind of standard afternoon thunderstorm stuff, 40–50%. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you so much, John. Let's take a look at your first alert traffic this morning in Manatee County. Looks like your biggest slowdowns really on State Road 70 heading towards the interstate. Other than that, looking pretty quiet throughout the area. And as we head into Sarasota County, pretty quiet as well. Not a whole lot going on. I-75 looking clear, and South County quiet as well at 5:22 this morning. Well, Irma moved north yesterday, flooding downtown Charleston, South Carolina, and uprooting trees in Atlanta, and also cutting off coastal communities.
The storm was downgraded to a tropical depression last night, but still packed power. CNN's Ed Lavandera spoke with one man who did not evacuate.
Where the Everglades meets the Gulf of Mexico, there sits a fishing village called Goodland. The eye of Hurricane Irma chainsawed its way through here.
Yeah, it's like living inside a storm.
And Gary Stringer stared down the sharpest edge of the storm's blade. He sat in this room as the 130-mile-per-hour winds roared outside.
Did you feel like the house was going to get picked up off the ground?
Yeah. I got the dogs. I thought, well, here we go. It's going to go. I mean, hey, nothing you can do.
Like Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz?
Right. Yeah, almost, yeah.
As the house shook, he heard the cracking and rumbling of a giant tree ripping out of the ground. He opened the door to see the tree had fallen onto the neighbor's house. He was spared.
And at that point, you start telling yourself, man, maybe I should have left town.
Yeah, man, I was telling myself that hours before that.
Emergency officials say some 40 people decided to ride out the storm here in Goodland, but there were no serious injuries reported. The hurricane ripped apart this town that's home to several hundred people. Boats tossed around, trees toppled, and several homes destroyed.
It blew out my oil cap here, the pressure from the water.
The storm surge pushed about 7 feet of water under Dustin Shepard's home. The water is gone now, but the surge brought in fish that aren't supposed to be here.
What do you have there?
We got a pufferfish here.
Shepard works as a charter fisherman and stayed inside his home with his wife and a friend.
My windows broke on the back side here, and you know, for about a couple hours, you know, I thought the house might come down. You know, and it got scary. You know, it was something I'll never forget, I'll tell you that much.
You guys.
Friends showed up to hug Gary Stringer, grateful he survived. He might have an incredible story to tell, but he just feels lucky
you took a direct
he can
hit.
walk away.
But I won't do it again. You know, trust me. You know, if another one comes, I'm gonna book a flight about a week early, and I'm gonna be on the other side of the world at a cheeky bar somewhere. You know, and then. Oh, no cell phone service? Well, I'll try later.
You learned your lesson.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're all right.
Yeah. Ed Lavandera, CNN, Goodland, Florida.
think that's the best soundbite I've heard in quite some time. I'm going to be on a tiki bar on the other side of the world.
Looks like all his shirts blew away, too, in the storm. 5:24 right now, still heading Good Morning Suncoast. Apple expected to unveil the new iPhone today.
And coming up at 5:30, more news on Irma and the damage it's leaving behind. Stay with us. We'll have those stories when we come back.
When you want to get away from it all, to a place where you can do everything, or nothing at all, surrounded by natural beauty and all the modern amenities you might desire, then you'll want to be here at the Wanna-Be Inn on the beautiful shores of Manasota Key, Florida. To plan your escape, log on to wannabeinn.com.
The kitchen is where life happens. Manasota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today.
This is an important medical announcement. Talcum powder products from some of the best-known brands have been linked to ovarian cancer. Any woman who has used a talcum powder product and has been diagnosed with ovarian cancer may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that women with long-term use of talcum powder, including baby powder for feminine hygiene, can increase the risk of contracting ovarian cancer. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to women who should have been warned about the risks of ovarian cancer with long-term use of talcum powder. Call the Talcum Powder Hotline. If you or a loved one used talcum powder and were diagnosed or died from ovarian cancer, you must call now.
Call 800-570-7599, 800-570-7599.
There's a nice peaceful shot of the Rosemary District. Plenty of lights in that area, it seems.
Yeah, so glad to see that there are a good amount of people in downtown Sarasota looking like it does have some power. And you can also see the traffic signals, though, that are flashing because of the loss of traffic lights that don't have power.
Yeah, I was coming down Lemon yesterday, and all of a sudden I had to stop and go a U-turn because there was a big tree in the road.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Here's our social media addresses in case you want to reach out and say hello. Make sure you're doing okay out there. We'd love to hear from you. There's our respective Facebook pages. We each have our own slant and our own articles about the situation. So check them out when you get a chance. Like them if you have time and like to stay in touch with you any chance you get.
5:27 this morning, and it's the day Apple fans have been waiting for. The company is expected to unveil the next generation iPhone. Big day.
ABC's Candice Gibson and Diane Macedo have a preview in this morning's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Apple's big announcement just hours away.
After months of speculation, the new iPhone is expected to be unveiled today. It'll be the first event held at the company's new Cupertino headquarters. The new device is believed to have face recognition technology and can charge wirelessly.
But some are already questioning the expected $1,000 price tag.
Equifax now facing at least 30 lawsuits stemming from the data breach, potentially exposing information of 143 million Americans.
The company's also staffing up its call centers to deal with the number of people seeking information about the breach.
And Volkswagen plans to offer electric versions of all its models by 2030. The world's largest car maker says the transformation of the automotive industry is unstoppable.
VW says it got the message. This is what customers want.
Voila, and those are your Tech Bites.
Have a great day.
Tech Bites, brought to you by AARP.
Our story begins more than 60 years ago inside an abandoned chicken coop where our founder discovered a retired teacher living. No home, no health care. So she said no to this injustice and yes to transforming lives. It's this drive, this compassion that inspired AARP. Today, we empower people to choose how they live as they age. We advocate for health and financial security. We strengthen communities everywhere. We are AARP, creating real possibilities.
A heart attack doesn't care what you eat or how healthy you look. No
matter who you are, a heart attack can happen without warning. A Bayer aspirin regimen can help prevent another heart attack. Be sure to talk to your doctor before you begin an aspirin regimen. Bayer aspirin.
What's new from Light and Fit? Greek non-fat yogurt with 0 artificial sweeteners. Real fruit and 90 calories. You'll be wowed. Try new Light and Fit with 0 artificial sweeteners.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
What if you had a medical emergency away from home?
My chest hurts. I can't breathe.
What you need is Mobile Help, America's premier mobile medical alert system. Most systems only work at home, but with Mobile Help, you get help outside the home with coverage nationwide on one of the largest cellular networks at the press of a button. Call the number on your screen for a free full-color brochure. We'll send you everything you need, including this base station, the patented mobile device, and the waterproof pendant and wrist button. You can also add the fall button that automatically detects falls and signals help. Call today and receive a risk-free 30-day trial. There is no equipment to buy and no long-term contract. For a limited time, you will also receive a free emergency key box with your plan purchase. Remember, Mobile Help keeps you safe coast to coast.
Call 1-800-916-8638. That's 1-800-916-8638.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
The ABC7 First Alert Hurricane Guide arms you with vital information when severe weather threatens the Suncoast. Visit mysuncoast.com and download yours today.
This half hour on Good Morning Suncoast, plugging in the Suncoast. We'll show you the massive effort to restore power to half the region.
Plus some footage coming out of the Carolinas showing the fading storms still packing a punch.
And the Rays can't play at the Trop, so they face the Yankees at the Mets Stadium. We'll tell you how that worked out next on Good Morning Suncoast.
Live from the ABC7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Yes, we are here for you. It's been a long few days. Glad you're with us still. It is Tuesday morning, September the 12th. I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Jacqueline Matter. Let's check in with meteorologist John Scalzi, who says it is a much different forecast than it has been in the past few days.
Good.
Yeah, it is. It's actually going to be kind of nice to get out there, and if you are off today or have some time to spare to take care of the necessary cleanups that's going to take place around the yard. I know I have a couple of trees that have to be dealt with. Should be a pretty nice day to do that. I mean, we're looking at maybe a few fair weather clouds, maybe an isolated hit and miss kind of quick moving shower. But other than that, not much going on. A lot of light winds around the region, but they're a west wind, they're onshore winds, so that is creating a current issue for our area beaches. Otherwise, we're looking at a satellite view that shows just a few of those clouds kind of moving across the region from time to time. Otherwise, starry skies back behind it with a nice moon out there. We have a few showers in progress, but like I say, very light stuff, not a big deal. Across the region, the rain shower chance today is minimal, 20 to maybe 30%, and the character of those showers very light. Daytime high tops out in the upper 80s today, and it'll probably be a little bit more humid. Complete forecast coming up in a few.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Let's check the roads. First off, in Manatee County, nothing much to speak of. We have heard, though, that you don't see this on the map, but there's flooding at State Road 70 and Wauchula Road, east of the interstate. All lanes are closed as you get east on State Road 70 again at Wauchula Road. Farther south now into Sarasota County, nothing much. A little blip there at the 41-301 split. And farther south, even that issue on 75 has since cleared up. All smooth at 5:35 on your Tuesday morning.
Well, Hurricane Irma continues to wreak havoc in the south at this hour after causing at least 10 deaths in Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina.
A flash flood emergency was issued in South Carolina, where Irma has swamped Charleston. ABC's Stephanie Ramos has the latest.
Hurricane Irma weakening to a tropical storm, but not before zeroing in on another target, Jacksonville, Florida. There is record-setting flooding in Jacksonville. Business owner Adam Schaefer returning to his office to find it underwater.
Jacksonville's a beautiful place, and we're really bummed to see this happen.
From North Florida to the south. Irma first making landfall in the Keys as a Category 4 hurricane, and it was relentless. We're now getting a look at the damage from the air. Boats grounded, cars buried, homes are destroyed.
You know, you come home and you see this, it's devastating. It's devastating.
My heart goes out to the people in the Keys. I mean, there's devastation.
The raging storm blasting rain in Orlando and devastating Marco Island.
We have no electric. We have no water on the island, so we're encouraging people, if you don't have to come back right now, don't.
Today, millions of people across Florida are without power as utility crews work nonstop to get the state up and running again.
I don't see the power coming on anytime soon with all the flooding.
Irma got to almost every inch of the state, but many Floridians say they feel lucky that they avoided epic flooding, especially here in South Florida. Stephanie Ramos, ABC News, Miami.
Well, the influential Republican chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee is contemplating his political future. Senator Bob Corker reportedly has not decided whether or not to seek re-election next year. A source familiar with Corker's thinking says he's taking steps to prepare for a run, including raising money and hiring a consultant. But Corker has also been critical of Trump, particularly the president's handling of last month's deadly violence during a white supremacist rally in Charlottesville, Virginia.
Some of President Trump's legal team reportedly wanted Jared Kushner to step down. That's according to the Wall Street Journal. It says that some believe the president's son-in-law should have stepped aside before reports about his failure to disclose contacts with Russians when the transition became public last summer. Staffers even reportedly began to prepare an investigation for Kushner to deliver his resignation. White House attorneys deny the report. Allegations about Russian involvement in the election are at the root of a number of probes.
In the wake of Hurricane Harvey, many people have stepped up to help the victims, including a Las Vegas group that is stepping up to make sure Hurricane Harvey victims have beds. Absolute Exhibits specialize in trade show booths, but now they're building the beds with wood donated from a local lumber company. They'll deliver those beds to the Houston Children's Charity. Absolute Exhibits also received hundreds of comforters, toys, and backpacks. And as Irma makes its way into the Carolinas, we're already beginning to see some incredible footage from the storm there.
This is a time-lapse video taken from Charleston of the flooding in that downtown area. A flash flood emergency was issued for Charleston as Irma approached. The ocean level went 4 feet above normal. Wow, it's like a river right there. About a third of the highest reading in the past 80 years. The only time it was worse there was back in 1989 during Hurricane Hugo and also during a hurricane back in 1940.
And also here is some footage of a water spout that touched down along the South Carolina coastline. As you can see, that is definitely causing that, looks like the waves kind of crash up over there. And it's interesting, Charleston kind of floods very often from what I've seen, and some reporters that I know in that area. They constantly tell me that that area constantly sees flooding when it rains heavy, or even some of that storm surge occasionally.
Yeah, they're right there on the water, and of course Hugo was very devastating back in 1989 for Charleston. Yeah.
Well, as Floridians recover from Irma, U.S. Senator Marco Rubio is trying to leave folks with one less thing to worry about. Rubio urging the IRS to extend the filing deadline for calendar year partnerships. He also asked the IRS to grant charitable contribution tax benefits to state residents who assisted those impacted by the storm. Rubio also urging the U.S. Department of Education to ease the burden of federal debt repayment deadlines for student loan borrowers.
All right, here's a breakdown of the airport schedules in our area. The Sarasota Airport will tentatively resume Delta services today, American Airlines tomorrow. Tampa International is expected to resume today or Wednesday, and St. Pete Clearwater is still closed until further notice.
Well, folks on Marco Island rushed to the rescue of this dolphin after it was washed ashore during Hurricane Irma. They say the dolphin was found on someone's lawn. Heavy waves were still pummeling the shoreline, so rescuers could not take him back into the Gulf, but instead they loaded the dolphin onto a truck and released him at a nearby boat ramp. And the happiest place on earth will be up and running again today. Walt Disney World shut down on Sunday as Hurricane Irma was approaching the Orlando area. Online videos and pictures showed some flooding at Epcot and at the Grand Floridian Resort. Trees were also knocked down in Animal Kingdom, and it was only the 6th time in the resort's 45-year history that severe weather has forced the theme park to close.
Interesting twist here. Last week, the Rays loaned the Trop to the Houston Astros, who were displaced by Hurricane Harvey. So now the New York Mets loaned Citi Field to the Rays because of Irma. So the Rays had a home series that began last night against the nearby New York Yankees. The visiting team, the Yankees, won 5-1. Very odd. Rays are the home team in New York against the Yankees. Didn't help all that confusion. They still lost 5-1, unfortunately. But yeah, must be some issues around the Trop in St. Petersburg to force them out of there right now. Perhaps floodwaters.
Well, you know, also we had a hurricane, so that kind of caused them to leave. Yeah, it's always interesting in our house because I have one son who's a Yanks fan and one son who's a Rays fan, so that makes it kind of cool. Yeah,
I'm sure that was a pretty interesting debate for them.
Yeah, it's always fun. Nicer weather shaping up for us. We'll talk about that in a second.
All right, still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, your first alert traffic, and there's a surprising connection between ticks and possible allergies to meat.
We'll have the story up next in Health Smart.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee counties since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Glasses and contacts. You need them to see, but they put such a strain on your life, you miss precious moments. Due to new advances in vision improvement technology, LASIK is now affordable for almost everyone, with procedures starting as low as $299 per eye and over 1 million procedures performed by our trusted independent surgeons. LASIK surgery is a sensible, safe, and affordable solution to improve your vision. Our simple 3-step process begins with a free evaluation, followed by an extensive preoperative exam to determine if you're a candidate for LASIK eye surgery. Depending on the results of your evaluation and eye exam, you and your surgeon will choose the LASIK option that works best for you. So call now to talk to a LASIK Vision Institute counselor and schedule your free evaluation. That's a $100 value, free. Call the LASIK Vision Institute for your free evaluation and enjoy more of your life.
Call 1-800-813-0109. 1-800-813-0109.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I'm creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
You studied hard, went to college, and achieved your dream.
but it turned into a financial nightmare. If you have federal student loans and you'd like to reduce your payments, get more time, or have your loans completely eliminated, then we have good news. With one call to Student Loan Relief Services, you can find support and guidance. We've already helped thousands of people, and we can help you too. If you have $10,000 or more in federal student loans, you can qualify for payment extensions, payment reductions, or you may qualify to have your federal student loan completely forgiven. Call Student Loan Relief Services now to find out about your options. Take control of your finances and get out from under this burden. One of our student loan experts has the answers to your questions and great solutions to ease your financial burden. We're here for you. Call Student Loan Relief Services now.
Call 800-759-0203, 800-759-0203.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help. With Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
A 78-degree temperature. We have a dew point of 73 and some clouds out there, a few scattered showers in places, but nothing heavy. And they're fast moving. They won't be there long. West wind comes in at about 13, creating a rip current issue today. Okay, I'm going to go over some river flooding information here, and I apologize if this does not pertain to you because it can get a little tedious for some folks, but there are people who require this. The Rye Bridge at Manatee has crested and is on the way down for you folks. The Myakka Head Manatee River location has crested and is on the way down, so the worst of the flooding gone there. Near Arcadia, crested and on the way down. The Horse Creek, that was a potential problem there, but we're looking good now. You've already seen the worst of it. And the Peace River near Arcadia, still going to crest, but not expected to impact any homes or anything like that. That is going to crest at about 17.2 for you folks there. And in, well, I don't know why that's there. That should not be there. But near the Myakka State Park, we are going to have some larger flooding there, but it should not impact anyone's homes. Okay, so Titan radar showing a few scattered showers here and there across the region. Nothing really heavy, nothing really big, just some light rainfall under some fast-moving clouds. You'll see those come in and out pretty quickly. They'll be out of here before you know it. We're looking otherwise at the heaviest of the rain, of course, to the north. Around what's left over from Irma, producing still some pretty heavy rainfall in places. North Carolina getting some heavy coastal rain showers around Lumberton, Fayetteville, getting some showers near Charlotte as well, getting some rainfall there. There could be some airport delays near the Charlotte airport, not only, of course, because of trying to get all the traffic back into gear and that sort of thing, but also because of some of these scattered showers. We've got a tornado warning up there for Wilmington, possibly a water spot moving onshore. And in any event, we have some heavier showers moving to the north of us as well, and that is going to create anywhere from the Ohio Valley down through some of the mountain ranges in Tennessee, potential for some quick flash flooding there, urban stream, that kind of thing. But it's not going to be a long, lingering issue for them. Some windy conditions, that's about it. For us, a southwesterly wind flow that will continue to produce that risk of rip current throughout the day today, so let's watch for that. Mostly sunny, warmer and humid, isolated showers. That's a forecast I can take after the weekend, no doubt about it. Our 7-day forecast looks like this. We'll have about a 30% chance of showers today, and those will be characterized by those fast-moving, hit and miss, quick tag showers that won't produce a lot of rainfall. And then over the next several days, we kind of dry out just a little bit. Humidity goes up tomorrow. Thursday, better chance of an inland shower or two. And then we have that kind of 50%, 40% chance of inland showers through the remainder of the week. That's kind of typical for this time of year. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, John. Let's take a look at your first alert traffic in Manatee County. Looks like it is pretty clear. However, there is some flooding on State Road 70 and Wauchula Road. All the lanes are closed, and that is east of I-75, but just keep keep that in mind as we head into Sarasota County. Looking pretty quiet. There are some slowdowns on Clark as you head towards I-75, but southbound heading into South County looking pretty quiet. There are some slowdowns on Business 41 if you're heading north towards Venice. 5:49 this morning, and in this hour's Health Smart, many people are allergic to peanuts or shellfish or even gluten.
Imagine that. But did you know you can be allergic to red meat as well? Yeah, did you know that you can develop that allergy from a tick bite? Steve Nannis explains in today's Health Minute.
It may seem strange, but it's true. A specific kind of tick bite can make you allergic to red meat. The Lone Star tick gets its name from the roughly Texas-shaped white dot on its back. The tick was once found only in the eastern and southeastern U.S., but it has begun showing up in places like Missouri, Minnesota, and even the eastern tip of Long Island. The tick's bite can trigger a life-threatening reaction to red meat. Actually, the allergic reaction is caused by a sugar in meat known as alpha-gal.
The symptoms are usually like any typical allergic reaction, itching, rashing, to full-fledged anaphylaxis with difficulty breathing, wheezing.
The reaction is delayed, so sometimes sufferers have no idea what prompted their reaction.
It's a delayed type of reaction, so when you ingest a red meat, that reaction doesn't occur for potentially 3 to up to 8 hours later.
There's no known cure for the alpha-gal allergy. The only course of action for those who suffer from it is cutting red meat out of their diet. To prevent tick bites, the CDC recommends using an insect repellent that contains 20% or more DEET or IR 3535. For today's Health Minute, I'm Steve Nannis.
Still ahead, we'll update the day's top local news headlines, and some Suncoast residents helped save a manatee and the story goes viral. That and much more coming up.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
When you want to get away from it all, to a place where you can do everything, or nothing at all, surrounded by natural beauty and all the modern amenities you might desire, then you'll want to be here at the Wanna-Be Inn on the beautiful shores of Manasota Key, Florida. To plan your escape, log on to wannabeinn.com.
If you're thinking about replacing your windows, what matters most to you? We found what matters is high performance. Our customers want energy-efficient windows built for Florida weather. Windows that can stand everything from scorching sun to hurricanes. Our customers want windows that reflect their life, their lifestyle. Windows that will last a lifetime. We listen to our customers, and as a result, we're growing. So if you're looking to replace your windows, stop here at New South Windows.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts on 4 or more windows.
Hi, I'm Joan London with A Place for Mom. Over the years, we've helped thousands of families find senior care, and today's senior living communities have never been better. With amazing amenities like movie theaters, exercise rooms and swimming pools, public cafes, bars and bistros, even pet care services. And nobody understands your options like the advisors at A Place for Mom. These are local expert advisors that will partner with you to find the perfect place and determine the right level of care, whether that's just a helping hand or full-time memory care. Best of all, it's a free service. Call today, A Place for Mom. You know your family, we know senior living. Together, we'll make the right choice.
Call A Place for Mom right now to get our free ebook on financing senior care, as well as a free referral for senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-290-0352. That's 1-800-290-0352.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Here's today's job of the day. ABC7 is seeking an account executive to join our winning sales team. This is an outside sales position covering the Tampa DMA. Visit mysuncoast.com/job of the day to apply.
For your plumbing, electrical or air conditioning. And services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com. ANDservices.com.
Welcome back. 5:54 this morning. Here are some of the top stories on the Suncoast today.
Efforts are underway to restore power to about half the homes in Sarasota and Manatee counties. Sarasota County has 130,000 without power. Manatee, about 83,000.
Plus, a fire broke out at a boat repair shop on Orange near 10th Street last night. Our tower Kim caught the flames just a few blocks from our studio.
And Hurricane Irma bumped the Rays out of St. Petersburg, so now they're playing a 3-game series against the Yankees at the Met Stadium across town up there. Rays are the home team in New York. Didn't help. Yankees won 5-1. Finally, some Good Samaritans rescued a pair of manatees left stranded by Hurricane Irma right here on the Suncoast. They were found in a dried up bay in Manatee County. At first, the group tried to move the beach mammals themselves. That was tough. They eventually received additional help from local wildlife officials. A resident named Marcelo Clavios posted video of the rescue to Facebook. He says the group rolled the manatees onto a tarp and dragged them 100 yards to a nearby channel. His video has been shared more than 70,000 times. Viral.
Love that story. I'm so glad that they were able to get them out of the bay and back somewhere else. And then, I don't know if you guys have seen the video of the flamingos leaving Busch Gardens in Tampa. That cracks me up. That they're single file. Single file,
like little kindergartners holding hands, just walking. So it was hysterical.
I love animal videos like that.
Yeah, they didn't complain a bit. But those manatees look so helpless.
I know.
Yeah, well, yeah. Even though they are mammals and air breathers, you know, their skin requires water.
Yeah.
And they can get, you know, very bad skin conditions developing very quickly. So it's just beautiful to see those people just jump in and help like that. It's great.
We will update the local situation, including a live update on the FPL efforts to plug in half of the area. That and much more in John's forecast after this. Stay with us.